Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to continue making our Mars colony survival game. If you haven't seen the first devlog, then go watch it now, Scratches, because I want views. So last time we were here, we made all of the essentials. We got the placing system down, we got all the different tiles, we got the nice little artwork and all the stats and things like that. It's very nice and tidy. So today we're going to work on making the power generator, which is going to be another place where the colonists can work. So to do this, it's going to be pretty simple. We're just going to have to copy a bunch of the code from the farm and then obviously create it with a whole bunch of new variables. So let's start by making the tiles that we need for it. Now I'm going to make this tile yellow because obviously it's power. And now I think I'm going to have to make some art for it because I want to have all the sprites ready. So now I can do all the coding all in one sitting instead of having to keep on switching over and making new tiles. Right, so now we can place our hallways, our bedrooms, maybe a farm if we're feeling a bit spicy. But now when we press 4, it doesn't have a thing down here yet because I haven't added that. But we can place it. So now we have 2 yellow buildings, and as you can see we got our little power generator here. Now the power generator, I might change what it looks like because to be honest I feel like it doesn't really fit in, but the idea is that in the middle you have like a nuclear reactor and then this is all like the power it's holding, the yellow stuff. But you might notice we have 1 farm, but we have a farm capacity of 6, which doesn't make sense because a farm only holds 2 people, and that's because we literally copied over the code. So now I'm going to have to set up all those variables I was talking about, basically doing the exact same for the farm, but instead of replacing it with power. So we are back, and as you can see, we've got a few more variables here and there. We have rooms, which is how many rooms you have, although a hallway doesn't count as a room. And depending on how many rooms you have, it will change how much power it draws out of your power reserve. Each worker working in your generators will make 2 power. So right now we have 7 rooms because these don't count as drawing power because obviously they're creating it. And as you can see, it's doing all the maths here and we're slowly generating power. We're going to have to start making some consequences on when you run out of resources, because right now nothing happens, you just go into the minuses and then you can just keep on placing stuff. So I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to make an end screen for when you run out of food or when you run out of power. Because if you run your colony straight into the ground, it wouldn't make sense if you could just recover it straight afterward. And hopefully that should bring a bit more difficulty to the game. So I'm going to start making an end screen and things like that. Okay, so now we should have the end screens working. So I'm just going to run this colony into the ground. Your colonists ran out of food and started eating each other. They all went mad and one by one collapsed from exhaustion. Now I'd say it's an actual game, you know, because we can actually loot. There's a reason to keep on going. Now I want to just add some quality of life things. Like having all these extra variables all over the place isn't that attractive, so I think I'm going to find a way to toggle those on and off. I also want to add some animations to the tiles because I feel like it'd be quite cool if you could see everything in action. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly do that. Right, so I made some changes. One I didn't mention earlier because I just thought of it whilst I was adding stuff, is that now when we hover over these, it'll tell you what they do. So obviously the hallway is the connector, the bedroom gives you capacity, and as for the animations, I didn't make one for the bedroom because I wasn't really sure what to do for that. But it's just 2 sprites repeating, so we got the little generator doing its thing, we got plants growing, and then we got the hallway just... I don't really know what it's doing, pulsing I guess. But I've also added the hide and show variables, so now you can toggle whether that's in the way or not. Now I want to add something that I was talking about in the last video, which is a natural disaster. Because I thought it'd be quite cool if you could have like a big storm come in and it would start destroying your buildings, because it's just one of those things that would make the game a lot more interesting. Right, so I just finished making that little dust cloud, which you can see there. So now I just gotta make it spawn on this side of the screen, or actually, nah, I'll just keep it on one side, maybe this side, flying over that way. So once it's flown over the screen, we just gotta make it disappear, and that's literally all this sprite will do, because the actual damage that it does will have to code in the tiles part. Right, so now I believe the dust storm should be working properly, although I'm not entirely sure. Now, there is one issue that I think may come up, and that Scratch has a clone limit of 300. So as you grow your colony, there may be too many clones, and then you won't be able to build anymore. Now, I can't really get around this because it's Scratch. I'm sure there's some fancy way that you can, but I'm clearly not smart enough. But I think what I will do is I'll put the project into Turbo Warp and then make it into a HTML, because then I can put it on my itch page instead. So if you guys want to play the game and not have to have that limit, then that itch page will come in handy. But here comes a storm, and it destroyed one of the bedrooms. So I think what I'm going to do is here's the chance here, I'm just going to make it more likely, maybe 15. And in fact, just for testing purposes, we're gonna not wait 40 to 80 seconds, and instead it's gonna be every time I press space. Now if we send in that storm, again it only destroyed one. I want to see that it can at least destroy multiple buildings, so oh yeah, there we go. See, that's more like it, that's what I wanted to see. So that's gonna be happening every 40 to 80 seconds. But now I'm looking at the sheet, I think we might actually be done. And I only took 2 devlogs as well, that's pretty impressive. So if you want to play the game, I'll leave a link in the description. Although last time I tried putting a link in the description, it told me I just couldn't because I didn't have enough channel history. And that's because this channel's fairly new. So if I can't do that, then I'll put it in the comments or something. So basically, just scroll down, you'll find it. I'll also leave a link to an itch version, so if you want to play it without that clone restrictions I was talking about, then you can. But please guys, give me some suggestions of what you might want me to do, what kind of game you might want me to make. But to be honest, I'm quite happy with how this game turned out, you know. I could spend time adding more systems and things like that, but what tends to happen with games like this is that I just keep on going and the scope gets bigger and bigger. And then I never end up having a nice finished project, so I think I'm just going to end it in an actual good playable state. But anyway, please subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next devlog.